Hello again, guys. This is Jacob coming to you from Denmark, and New Sounds and Old is the channel name. So, this video is entitled A Compilation of Comps, and that is because I basically want to show you some compilations that I bought recently. I think I talked about this in a previous video. When Denmark began to slightly open up after the 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 biggest wave or the second wave of COVID, back in May, I was asked by um, the guys that I work with on the music quiz that I do at the local concert venue here, pardon, whether I would want to act as a DJ. For one night because they are doing these DJ nights, and I would be doing it with a friend. 4 hours in total, both of us getting 2 hours worth of DJing with vinyl records. And I was a bit anxious, to be honest with you, because I've never done that before, and didn't really wasn't sure on what to play and how to work the mixer and so on. But all in all, it worked really well. There weren't that many people there, but still, I had a great time. I played I played two sets that were very focused on um, Brazilian music and African music and disco and funk and soul and so on. And maybe that was not what most people there wanted to hear, but that's what I wanted to play. And that's really what I'm not what I'm all about, but that's kind of the focus musically that I'm in, that I have been in for the past couple of years. I was a rock guy back in the '90s, and '80s too, for that matter. I uh, discovered grunge back in 1990 with Sonic Youth's Goo album, and Nevermind Nirvana in '91, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden '92, and so on. And I listened to a lot of rock music. Still bought a lot of pop music as well, but I think that in the '90s rock music was maybe my primary focus. Um, and here, some 20 odd years later, I'm really heavily into disco and funk, and just the cheesiest '80s boogie and disco and soul and so on. And it's just really weird how my taste has evolved, or maybe not evolved, if you ask some people. But yeah, that's really what I'm into at the moment. And I think that maybe the guys that were there, the audience that was there, maybe wanted a bit more rock music, and I was playing all my '80s disco and so on, '70s disco. Anyways, I've been having talks with the leader of this local concert venue, and he definitely wants me to act as a DJ again in future whenever he's throwing these DJ nights again. Right now, because of the summer and everything going on, it's summer holiday. But maybe in August or September and so on, we will have more DJ nights. And because of that, well, also because of that, and also because I think that these compilations are just really awesome, featuring some really great tracks, I've been buying a lot of compilations that I have found with a seller on Facebook here in Denmark, and he's been selling a lot of records, and I bought a shitload of records from him, but a lot of compilations as well. And these are just some of the ones that I've bought recently, and I just wanted to share these with you. Should you come across these compilations, I would highly recommend that you buy them, basically, if you're into this sort of music. Um, Many of these, I think the first, I have 8 in total here. The first 6 are all from the same label called Wagram or whatever. So Wagram. It's a label based in France, and I think I'm pretty sure that it's, one of these cheap labels that they don't have the original masters as their source material. These are probably sourced digitally, either from a CD or from some sort of MP3 file or whatever. Um, but still, they sound good, and they feature a lot of tracks that I would like to play at forthcoming DJ nights, and they were relatively cheap. I mean, I think that most of these were about, I don't know, 12, 13, $14 each or so, and I think that's a pretty fair price. Most of these are actually double disc sets, so I think that it's a pretty good investment. First one, Brazil Spirit, again with the Brazilian music. So basically, this is not only Brazilian artists; it's also artists from America and from other parts of the world that just play Brazilian songs or songs with a Brazilian flavor. So you have, for example, Stan Getz, Charlie Bird, Desafinado. I'm gonna put a picture up on the screen right now, so that you can see what's on here. You have Olandivo, who is one of my favorite Brazilian artists. Jorge Ben. You have Quincy Jones with the Soul Bossa Nova. The one of the tracks featured in the Mike Myers films. What's this called? Austin Powers. Uh, Jorge Gilberto, Sergio Mendes, Seu Jorge, and so on. So this is a really really strong compilation, and I mean I got this for, I don't know. I think this was one of the cheapest ones. I don't know, $10, $11 or so on. Um, and this is just all killer, no filler. I have some of these tracks on other albums, but I'm really glad for to own a compilation like this, featuring many different tracks that you could play while DJing, for example. Next one is this double disc set called Funk Greatest Hits. Look at that cover. Look at that gentleman looking all swell with his hat and his sweater vest and so on. How cool is that? Once again, there's a picture on your screen now. I mean, come on. This has Kool and the Gang, Get Down on It. Um, Oliver Cheatham, Get Down Saturday Night. Stretch, Why Did You Do It? Gil Scott Heron, Home is Where the Hatred Is. Commodore's Brick House. Positive Force, We Got the Funk. Imagination, Music and Lights. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five with the Message. Man, you want to listen to this. Um, James Brown, Get Up. Feel Like a Sex Machine. Come on. Uh, Once again, just a killer compilation, and all of these tracks just on one, or well, two discs, but on one album here. Yeah, that's just amazing. Um, the next ones are from a series called Sampled, and I have bought. I think that there are these four titles that I got. So they all have like a similar cover, like black and white. Um, and basically, what this is that this these albums are all double disc sets, and they all contain songs that are, some of them famous, some of them maybe not so famous, but they are all sampled by other artists in different genres. So there is an album called Sampled Groove with a lot of groovy tunes that were sampled by other artists. Sampled soul, a lot of soul tracks, sampled jazz, and then sampled funk. So what what the info here on the back says, this is Sampled Groove. There's a picture on your screen. Uh, what this basically shows is that it shows what tracks are on here, and then it also states what famous tracks sampled the songs on this album. So if you take track number 3 on the first record, which is the band called Creative Source with the song called Who Is He and What Is He to You. Now, you may know that, you may not know that, but that was sampled by LL Cool J on the song called Phenomenon, and you may know that one. The song after that, Blowfly Outro, is sampled by the legendary hip hop act Jurassic 5 on their big hit Quality Control. Um, you have on side B, Bob James, Tappan Sea is the track. It was sampled by Arrested Development on the song called Everyday People, or People Every Day, I think it was called. And so on. So, once again, this features tracks, and it says here on the back side of the cover here what famous tracks sampled these tracks featured on this album. So, a lot of old groovy songs. Patrice Rushen, Forget Me Nots, you all know that, was sampled by Will Smith on Men in Black, the Men in Black song, and so on. Really, really cool track list on this one. The Fatback Band, Uncle Louie, George and Gwen McCrae, Lafayette Afro Rock Band. Come on. The next one in the series I got here is Sampled Soul. So, once again, a lot of soul tracks here. Ray Charles, I Got a Woman, famously sampled by Kanye West and Jamie Foxx on their track Gold Digger. Timmy Thomas, Why Can't We Live Together? I didn't know that song, but I know listening to it that it was sampled by Drake on his huge hit Hotline Bling. Etta James, Something's Got a Hold on Me, sampled by Avicii, the Swedish EDM musician, on his track Levels, and so on. Once again, I mean, these compilations here feature amazing tracks, and then once again, the information on which famous tracks used samples from the songs. The sampled jazz album, features Herb Alpert, Doris Day, Nina Simone, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Dinah Washington, Harry Belafonte, Frank Sinatra, and so on. And then, of course, once again tells you which famous tracks, which famous artists rather sampled these tracks. For example, Ella Fitzgerald, the song called All Through the Night. I didn't know that the British techno wizards in the Prodigy sampled that song on their title, The Day Is My Enemy, and so on. A lot of hip hop samples on this as well. Sampled Cal Chater, sampled by Gangstar. Gil Scott Heron, once again sampled by Kanye West, and so on. Another great compilation, this one featuring jazz tracks, and the last one is sampled funk. Let me just put these down here. So on here, you have Incredible Bongo Band, you Ike and Tina, no, not Ike and Tina, but Ike Turner and the Kings of Rhythm, sampled by Fatboy Slim. Who knew that? I didn't know that, to be honest with you. Instant Funk, Got My Mind Made Up, sampled by De La Soul on a roller skating jam named Saturday. Yeah. These are all just killer compilations. I believe, like I said before, these were all sourced digitally and not with original masters. So sound quality wise, when it comes to vinyl, it could be better. But these are great compilations, and for at least for the price that I got them, relatively cheap, I got just 8 discs of amazing songs that I can spin, while DJing or just by sitting at home and listening to it. I'm really happy to get those. Last 2 ones I want to show you is from the series called Beach Diggin'. Look at these covers here, they are just amazing. So this is Beach Diggin' number 3, or volume 3 and volume 4. I think by now they have 5 volumes, all in all. And these are on the French label called Heavenly Sweetness. So these are compiled by 2 gentlemen who call themselves Mambo and Guts. And this compilation series here features a lot of music from around the world. So, for example, on the volume 4 here, you have songs from Jamaica, from Brazil, from Japan, from South Africa, from Tunisia, from France, from Peru even, and a lot of artists that I did not know anything about. But this compilation is just, the perfect soundtrack for a lazy day on the beach, as it says, or at the beach rather. and that's exactly what this is. So really smooth, really chillin', really summery vibe, Brazilian Latin vibe to these compilations here. The only bad thing about this is that the two guys, Mambo and Guts, were not really paying much attention to clearing the tracks on these compilations. So if you go on Discogs, only volume 3 is available to buy. The other 4 volumes, so that's volume 1 and 2 and 4 and 5, are all listed as bootlegs or partial bootlegs because the two gentlemen and their record label Heavenly Sweetness did not clear the songs with the artists, which is not good. So, I mean, basically they are partial, at least partial bootlegs, if not complete bootlegs. And that really sucks because I would definitely want the artists featured on these albums to be paid. Um, and also, secondly, I would really like to own all 5 albums in this series. And these are very hard to get. Number 1 and 2 are extremely hard to get. I don't know if they repress them. I would think that they don't because basically they haven't paid or they haven't cleared the tracks, so the artists aren't getting paid. Maybe they are pressing them still somewhere, I don't know, but they are not available on Discogs. They're not available online because volumes 1 and 2 have been out for 4 or 5 years, and so basically every copy pressed has been bought by someone. Number 5 you can actually still get on their at the Bandcamp site for Heavenly Sweetness. Um, but yeah, these are just perfect um, summary collections of really great music. So it's beach digging, handpicked by Mambo and Guts, but sadly they, forgot to clear some of the tracks at least. Um, Check these out and also the other ones if you want to. Once again, it's all about, for me at the moment, disco, boogie, soul, funk, groove, jazz thing that I'm on right now. Yeah, I don't really listen to much rock music. Well, I do. I don't buy much rock music, but that's just because I'm stuck in this in this soul funky thing at the moment. Anyways, I hope that I somehow inspired you to maybe check out these titles here. And until next time, stay safe and yeah, see you around.